for this.
With an LED, no. The answer is no.
Okay.
Is that true?
Ma'am, state your name and address, and sir, I forgot to have you do that as well, if you could state your name and address.
Myron Power, 7700 Briarden Drive.
Who's lives in the neighborhood?
Okay.
Priscilla Olenek, 3100 Pleasant Ridge Road. With LED, you have lots of different color temperatures. I sell lighting for a living. 5,000 Kelvin, which is a blue kind of tint, which is what he's talking about with the electric blue, is typically used for more commercial applications. Color temperature that is kind of standard, that's a warmer, more yellow kind of light, you wouldn't go with incandescent. It's like a 3,000 color temperature. It's a little bit warmer. It's definitely better for residential usage. Do y'all provide these, or does Duke Power provide
That's
them?
the problem. Duke Power has said we are providing and they want to provide the brightest light that they can.
Right. Well,
So-
and bright is kind of relative. You're still looking at the same lumen output. It's just the color of the light. So you could ask if there's like a warmer color temperature available. I don't know if there is. This looks like a fixture that we have access to, this manufacturer, but that may be an option for you moving forward.
For the town.
For the town.
Absolutely,
And if
yeah.
anything, you know, like that, I mean, I
Actually,
definitely.
Priscilla, can I reach out to you when
Sure,
we
absolutely.
write that ordinance, because
Sure.
it's a
definitely
new
better.
technology to me.
Yeah, I mean, the 5,000 Kelvin is very electric blue. It's not good at all.
That's what they've insisted on providing, and there's a suit up in Raleigh, in a historic district, where they've installed these lights.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're
not
insisting
good.
on, anyway.
Yeah, 5,000 is more commercial type application, and 3,000 is more residential. It's a much more pleasing light.
Okay, so what you're saying is, yes, there are LED lights that are more attractive, and they aren't available from Duke Power right now.
Right, we have to negotiate.
And how many lights are being put in? I don't know, count them up. How many more lights? We got 19 more. We got 25 already.
Any other public comments, questions? State your name and address.
Corey Williams, 7601 Braden's Drive, so in Brookhaven. Just some general comments. I think as a neighborhood, we want the styles to match, but it is a very intrusive light. If we're looking for dark skies, when I first moved there, it was gorgeous back there. This is the same light, it feels like you get a Harris Teeter. And you have some houses that have two. They're not spread equally, there'll be two flanking one house. It is a hideous light.
The LED.
What we have now, currently.
What do we have now?
What we have now is it just shines light so far, and obviously we're stuck in a hard and rock place, and I just want to make my comments public, is obviously we would like to have nice lights throughout the whole neighborhood. We're stuck, I'm not sure if the option is we either get lights that somewhat match, and it is light pollution beyond anything I've ever seen in a neighborhood. It is, I go to Harris Teeter and I say, that is the exact same light. You can see it, it's exactly the same one. And one time one was broke, I swear it had you're the lighting expert, it looked like it had a light bulb that could be changed or to some.
It is, the one that's broken,
Yes.
I head down right now.
There has to be a solution that solves what Summerfield wants to do. It was so gorgeous back there before the lights. Look up at the stars, now it looks like a shopping mall. And some people have paid $1 million to live back there. And we want lights to match, so I'm not saying let's not have lights, but it's pretty bad. From my public opinion, I think the lights are really obtrusive. And if I could have my way, I would like nice lights surround the whole neighborhood. Thank you.
Are you saying that you want nice lights? It's not so much the looks of them, but the look at night. And
It's just
how
that it
much
looks like
light-
it looks like this light. It's a bright fluorescent light that just scatters to no end instead of just kind of lighting and surrounding. My backyard, it's just amazing. It looks like it's a shopping mall light. There's no
And
difference.
we don't address the intensity, we
Right.
only address light trespass.
That's right, maybe that's something that
Comes
should
to
be,
that, it should definitely.
that's a good point.
There's also different wattages available in high pressure sodium and metal halide. There's options if that bulb is replaceable. but it should be.
It's just not the right light for that type of neighborhood, and for someone to just put a personal investment into that neighborhood, and it's the comment that everyone makes, like, wow, look at these lights. I mean, you know, other people that come into your neighborhood, it just does not fit the neighborhood.
So everybody says it's obtrusive.
You know, no one likes the light, but now if we're stuck with, you know, do you want the lights or no lights? Some people feel like, hey, I want safety for when I walk, but you know, most people have lit up their whole house now, so I think it's probably becoming less of a problem. So I think that's the option that we're being presented with. You either get no lights or you get the shopping mall lights. I would like to hopefully there is another choice, and you get lights that we all would be proud of. That's just my point.
That would, honestly, is what would be more of a homeowners association issue between the homeowners association and the developer. Here tonight, we're looking at the ordinance.
But I can tell you for Summerfield, I would not highly recommend that light ever anywhere.
So who is making this request? You're not a homeowners association representative, you're the developer's representative.
And in the meantime, I know there are homeowners that have asked for the lights to be completed, to be finished out.
So you have to do a do?
Excuse me?
You have to do a do?
Duke provides the lights. We don't even have the lights. I mean,
So Duke has to provide the lights,
they provide the
even
lights.
if the
in appropriate
HOA
spaces.
said,
Is that something we can work with Duke to see if we can just get a different bulb?
Excuse me, so what's your homeowners association telling you? So this guy is a resident, but I would assume the homeowners association would be speaking to you with like one voice, right? Like the board speaks with one voice, are you like getting, what if you're a homeowner?
One of the issues that's kind of happened and transpired here is that we've had different people play different roles. You've had Beth representing your homeowners association. Tonight's the first time I've heard anybody upset or disenchanted with the lights presently there. You know, so it's kind of just bounced around. Our first, my Combs' objective right now is to finish out the lights. I've heard comments saying we want to walk at night, we don't want to step in snakes. I've never heard anything else other than that.
Well, and Salem Property Management is making this request together with the developer. The HOA,
Yes,
the
we're
HOA
interactive
management
at this point.
property is making the request together. If you look at the letter, they're calling it variant, but it's an
It
exception.
says the applicant,
We-
Ben Burke, LLC.
At the end, at the second page, we and the HOA management staff appreciate this request. There isn't a signatory from the HOA, but, and the developer owns, you know, they have every right to make this request, but I've been under the understanding that you've been working in concert with the HOA.
That's certain.
If the
board approves, will we put a condition on it to say that the developer must work with the homeowners association to find a happy balance or something? That,
Not really, the only thing you're considering an exception to that ordinance to allow them to continue the same
and then it'll be upon the
lighting
folks here
fixture.
that live here to.
So that condition isn't really germane to the exception.
And furthermore, once again, these lights are under lease, so there has been a lease signed. And I don't know where we stand and how many in each, it might stagger. There might be 10, phase 1, 3 years into it, phase 2, 10 years, whatever. So, I mean, you're talking about, we're changing, starting to scratch, that's totally,
One of the things with having what Duke Power does manages is lights like this is maintenance. Because what they found out in other areas is where you have subdivisions that try to do it themselves, the lights tend to get deteriorated or HOAs tend to dissolve and there's no one there to maintain those lights. And then the power company comes back in and takes them over and manages the billing, manages the replacement of the bulbs and everything else like that.
absolutely, single point.
So it seems to me that, people's opinions about where they want to live. When they're thinking about buying someplace, they drive around at night and look at it, and they will or won't settle where they don't like the light. And it doesn't sound to me like anybody's planning on taking the 25 that are there down, put any new ones up. So I move that we grant the variance.
The exception to the ordinance, not a variance.
It's not a variance?
No, it's an exception to the lighting,
All right.
the lighting fixture.
Do we have a second to that?
Or
I second.
Okay, we have motion's been made, we have a second, so all those in favor, raise your right hand. It passes unanimously, and it's incumbent upon now the town and developer and Duke and homeowners association.
Complete the installation, and it's hugely incumbent on the town to clean up our lighting ordinance, relook the dark sky ordinance with Duke at the table. I think is a good idea, and make it up to date with the current standards. We won't have problems like this anymore. So you are good.
You're done.
Yes.
So can I call you tomorrow?
Yes.
Follow up what we're going to do next.
Yes, I'll write you a letter with the results. So you can know.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right, now we move to the last item on the list, which is rezoning case 01-17. It's granted exception to have garages at Administrator Road.
This is, if anyone else wants to leave, it's a good time to pick it. This is, some of you have experienced a case like this, others haven't, where with our conditional zoning, the conditions of a zoning district, a zoning district with conditions are defined by the conditions themselves. So this is a whole separate conditional use zoning district, and those conditions that are attached to it are married to the zoning forevermore. And if any one of the conditions has to be changed, it now becomes a new zoning district. That indicates the strength of the conditions in a zoning district. So because it's changing its zoning district, it requires a public hearing to change zoning district. We're changing, the designation doesn't change because it's still CUOS RD, but it's CUOS RD will be listed with different conditions and attached to the zoning map as such with the case and the conditions that are listed there. So I think okay, so the two of you were not here during the initial rezoning. Who was not here during the initial?
when
You were here? This was done in, last year. It's in the, no, you have to go back to that. It was done last September.
Okay.
Was it last September? I gave away my packet.
Yeah, oh, I remember, I remember that one. Okay.
Okay, so since we have to change the condition, the only condition that the applicant is requesting a change in is that pertaining to the orientation of the garages to the building. And I suggest you open the public hearing and invite the applicant invite anyone who wants to speak in favor of the zoning, and the applicant can be the first to speak.
Okay, we'd like to open this up for comment and let the applicant go ahead and speak first. Please state your name and address.
Bill Garrett, 2102 North Elm Street, Greensboro. I need you guys to help me correct my mistake. When I applied for the zoning last time, I listed multiple conditions, exterior siding, shingles, whatnot. This was, I did this for the first time when I rezoned Crossing Bridge on Crossingberry Road. And that was at the behest of the planner then. She advised I put a lot of stuff in there, which I usually put in the covenants, but she suggested putting it in the conditions. So I did. that was a flat, cleared piece of land on crossing the Perry Road. And so I just kind of copied and pasted almost those same conditions to this, just Strader Road project. Strader Road is a whole different animal. I mean, it has got some serious topo. It was mostly wooded. With the OSRD, you know, your lots are shrunk down to 110, 100 feet. For a driveway radius, you need 25 feet to get into a garage. So basically, the entire front is cleared. It's all the way back to the septic, and then the septic is cleared. You know, whatever you have to do, you can weave around big trees, but a lot of times you have to clear, you know, more than you want to. So I'm asking the board to let me put front-loaded garages. And I think that we, the ones on the front.
Except for along Strader Road, which is the main, the reason to ask for side-loaded garages is for appearance of the garage from the roadway. And so the only garages that would be front-loaded would be within the neighborhood itself,
Further back.
and not from the public, the outside of the neighborhood.
This will allow me to reduce my clearing, to hopefully have some trees between houses, and to better work with the topo issues that are there. So,
Where's the plat for this?
We have,
Is it in here? Is it copy of that in here?
no, it's, I didn't feel like because we're back to a zoning commission, I didn't feel like it was germane. There is a copy of the original zoning exhibit, and Frank was asked for a full-blown copy of the zoning exhibit. But at this time, you can ask if there's any others who want to speak in favor, and then ask if those who want to speak
I have
against.
a couple of questions though before we do that. There's no change to the number of lots in condition. Okay. There's no other conditions that will change, just this on the garage.
Correct.
And it's just driven by you wanting to get trees in between houses.
as much as I can, and, you know, to mitigate the amount of clearing I've got to do, and to better utilize the topo that fit houses.
No, I think we need to keep the public hearing open, and then we'll discuss and ask questions, yeah.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you.
Bill.
Are there any questions, comments from anyone in the audience?
Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor? Hearing none, is there anyone who'd like to speak against this request? Hearing none, you can close the hearing.
Okay, we'll close the public and we're going to go ahead and open up for questions from the board.
Question that I have, I walked this site Sunday, extensively walked this site, and I agree the topos there are tremendous. In other words, first question I have is, with the GSI stuff that we have right now, and the topos and the software and everything that's available, it's odd that it's coming up at this point right now.
So, I mean, like I said, I made a mistake.
Okay, so that being said, there's quite a few areas out there that are already cleared already.
True.
Okay, so you talk about saving trees. Now, for instance, I went out there, and this whole corner here is totally cleared. Yeah,
It's mostly back in the cul-de-sac, mostly back in here.
this corner here is totally cleared. I mean, there's not one tree on it.
That's true.
Okay, there's a big area here that's totally clear. There's not
Are
one
the
tree
roads
on it.
already in, the roads already?
All this is wooded.
Okay. This whole area in here now, granted, the topos are changing tremendously, but there's not going to be one tree left on this whole side.
Not in the front.
Already, in other words, there's nothing there already.
But there are trees in here,
I understand that. So,
and the trees right here.
yeah. Now, with this elevation off the street, I mean, it rises tremendously.
It does.
It rises tremendously. So, are you asking for this for every lot besides Strader Road, in other words? Or are you just gonna put them on the ones that really need front loading?
I'm asking for the flexibility to do what makes the most sense,
Except for these two lots.
except for these two.
What makes the most sense as far as, is the goal really to make the footprint of impervious surface smaller
That's a huge,
and saving trees?
that's a huge part of
So to get flexibility to design
when
something.
you have houses stacked, with 25 foot, 25 feet driveway, 10-foot setback on this side, and then a 70-foot wide, long house, I mean, the whole lot's is just impervious. I can come straight in, and as this gentleman has said, because of the clearing that was required to grade this site, like some of the trees, or a lot of the trees on that right side,
Yeah.
it had to be. I mean, it was a cliff.
Yeah.
But there's still, if we subtract those first two lots, that was 19 lots, and of those 19 lots, there are probably 12 that are going to require clearing. I should throw that out. But, I think it's important to have some kind of consistency and to be able to, have some separation between the houses, which you can better do with front-loaded garages in a tight site like this.
So you feel that you would go ahead, except for the two there, that the balance of these would all be front loading?
Well, it would just depend on like a corner lot, I might go inside.
They could be,
It
they
just
could
depends.
potentially be, he would have the flexibility.
Yeah.
Another, I'll add that it's likely that the reason the previous planner asked him to make these conditions is because we can no longer require garage orientation for single and double family homes. We can't require that garages are oriented one way or the other. We're not allowed to put that in ordinance even if we had it. And the law, the statute no longer allows us to dictate architectural state law, thank you. Architectural finishes or garage, window, and door orientation. So that was why she had been, and I would recommend the same thing if it were feasible. So it's the only way that those kind of things can happen is if they're offered by the applicant. So the law only allows us to demand garage into orientation if it's offered by the applicant. An attorney is not here to say that the owner is no longer offering that condition or wants to withdraw that offer. Where does that leave us? Do we have standing to disallow it? Is there policies in the comprehensive plan that would compel us to say that this condition needs to remain? Is there, and if you want it, I mean, if it's really not about topo, don't say it's about topo, just say it's about needing the flexibility to arrange the houses, and you should never have asked for that condition in the first place, it was a mistake. I think you'd be better off saying, being in front like that.
Well said.
If there's, just make it what it is.
Well, topo is what just jumps to me every time I go to that site. It's a hard site.
We drove through it yesterday.
Because that's not going to help them understand what you come up with day by day.
And we were, just FYI, we were about 1 week from putting pavement down before we got 6 inches of rain 6 weeks ago, and now we've been paralyzed.
Yeah.
It's just like total.
This is, it must be stabilized.
Might not be quite as steep as it might not be as steep.
Or steeper. Now there's places that are steeper, and I haven't heard any complaints, so the site must be stable. I'm going to just hope, because there's not there anymore.
I know, it's poor Theron.
So anyway,
And that's other questions that we can't ask.
well,
And
I mean, it's all within reason. Why, if it's not about tempo, why would it be important to take this condition out?
What you said, I mean, it's
Just so you have that flexibility?
Yeah,
It's just easier to build that way?
It's tight lots, lots of trees, and some of them, a lot of lots.
streets are built out with a garage space in front.
It is.
It's cost efficient. I with that there. Is there any way that we could require a maximum amount of trees be left?
We're in a zoning situation, so I suppose I wouldn't say that you could hold hostage this condition, this request, but the applicant can always offer conditions at
It
any
costs a lot of
time.
money to clear trees. I'm going to leave as many
Has
trees
this
as I
been
can.
cleared? Say this part's been cleared? Has been-
No, this hasn't been cleared there, but this rises tremendously.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's gonna be difficult to get a driveway going up that steep.
I know.
right.
I mean, it's gonna be really difficult.
I know.
So,
It'll be compounded if I have to do side loading.
yeah.
Right, and then it has to, and it is true that the flexibility to do a front-loading garage could potentially create less impervious
Oh,
surface
yeah,
because
it
you're
does.
going straight into your.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to talk you into one way or the other,
no.
looking at it through the right lens. And
No, I
and
mean, I
call
put-
it, and then do call it what it is. It's not about Topo, it's about it, then that's what it is, and
Yeah.
that's what you're asking for.
Now, the lots on the other side, they drop off tremendously. Are you gonna leave those? Are you planning on filling that in and bring it up? Or
Where?
this whole side here?
Those are what's called basement lots.
Wait. Well, I'm aware of that. That's my specialty. And so if you have a basement lot, you could theoretically, you could have a garage under. There are plenty of those.
But you have to go around, that would take more surface,
Well,
way more impervious surface.
So maybe the point is that.
but there's no trees here anyway right now.
Right.
I mean, that whole area is gone.
And that's a whole other issue for another,
Yeah.
it's a tree preservation. So the flexibility to create a basement garage, or a side loading garage, or a front loading garage, maybe that's, is that your point?
Well,
That it could be,
All right, any other questions, comments? Anyone have a motion on this one?
I'll motion.
on the back of your staff report is a fill in the blanks motion that addresses consistency with the comprehensive plan and in the public interest. I don't know if you have the right. There's one on the back of the 0217 staff report as well that we've got in your hand. No, that's the minutes.
So,
Yeah, take a look at that.
it's in the Hays.
Is it the basement? Probably.
Up. First one to find it gets to make the motion.
Here we go, if you want to approve, denial, or condition. So
So I move that the request for the rezoning from AG agricultural to
Oh, it's sorry, it says CUOSRD to
CUOSRD, conditional use open space, be approved, residential district, be approved with the conditions proposed by the applicant and accepted by the council.
Minus management.
What you can say, yeah, sorry that we seem to have had
No.
Yeah.
All right, so we're okay on that. Are there any seconds with any conditions or anything? No?
What the motion is the conditions as approved by the council minus the requirement for the garage, right? Okay.
Based
I
on,
second.
would you mind basing it on
Compliance with
consistency or not with
the development ordinance.
comprehensive plan?
supply.
No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
we
no.
charge as much as you
This isn't compliant.
House, appropriate housing might be the simplest to use.
Just, okay, this is in accordance with the development comprehensive plan. The standard comprehensive plan.
Close enough. All right, is there, and we have a second? All those in favor? Okay, this one carries unanimously. And we'll close that one. All right, and now we'll move. You're doing fine, don't stop. Now, we will move to the next part of the agenda, which is, we're going to move to other business and open it up to public comment.
This is an advisory decision, it is going to the council.
Right. Right.
This is correct. The town council here will make a final decision. This is a recommendation. The council will make a decision on their June 13th meeting.
All right, and now we'll close that one and we'll open up item 8, other business. Are there any public comments related to zoning cases that anyone would like to make?
Related to
Zoning in particular, having to do with town zoning, ED.
Yes.
I guess it does, yeah.
But yes.
Versus the
please state your
budget.
name. Yeah, no, nothing about the budget, the open space, the trails, has to do with zoning.
Wayne Crawford, 1106 NC Highway 150 West. I've been told by a couple individuals that this meeting was not noticed on the town website. No, it is there today, I know that. I'm told by many it wasn't there yesterday. If that's the case, we may very well be in non-compliant with open meetings laws, chapter 143, article 33, meetings of public bodies.
Dwayne, could you slow down and say that so where Mary could get that?
Chapter 143, article 33C, meetings of public bodies. Early in the section, it talks about the applicability. Is it applicable to this body? It says, as used in this article, public body means any elected or appointed authority, board, commission, committee, council, or other body of the state or one or more of its county, cities, I'm leaving out some, that is authorized to exercise legislative, which you have done, or advisory, which you have done. So applicability, we satisfied that. The notice of official meetings, section E, says that the public body has a website that one or more employees maintain. The public body shall, that's a very important word, shall post notice of any meeting held under subdivisions B1 or B2, and I'm going to get to one of those in a second, of this section prior to scheduled time of that meeting. The one that's applicable is section B2. It says for any other meeting, meaning not a standard published meeting, and not for an exception, emergency meeting, the public body shall cause written notice of the meeting stating its purpose 48 hours in advance. Thank you.
Probably the attorney who's not present tonight. This is an issue that